Lunch break, the final day of the Crimson Realm Championship. Tatsuya's thumb hovered over the screen, his headphones snug around his neck.
Lavender's about to win. I can't believe I'm married to the best warrior in the server.
Then, in the corner of the stream, a small window activated, a webcam feed. The face that appeared made his stomach drop. He knew that face. He saw it every day.
Ms. Himura. Naomi Himura. That's my homeroom teacher.
At the teacher's desk, Naomi's eyes widened in panic as she saw her own reflection in the tiny preview window. Her smartphone slipped from her trembling fingers and hit the floor with a clatter. Silence. Then, slowly, Tatsuya turned his head.
He's watching. He saw everything.
Across the sea of students, their eyes met, and the secret that could destroy them both hung in the air, unspoken. 2 years earlier, Tatsuya was a sophomore who barely spoke in class. His real life was inside the screen.
Crimson Realm. Maybe this MMO will be different. Somewhere I can be someone else.
He created a knight named Ravengite. In a random guild raid, he saw her, Lavender, a violet-haired warrior queen.
She moves like she's planned every step 10 seconds ahead. I've never seen anyone play like that.
A guild merger forced their guilds together. They were assigned as co-leaders. At first, it was just strategy until it wasn't. Late nights, they typed about their real lives, her stressful job, his college entrance exams. Names were the only thing they never shared.
She gets my weird jokes. She worries about me when I'm sick. I don't even know her face, but I know her.
When the guild announced marriage ceremonies, he typed the words without thinking. "Will you marry me, Lavender?" Her reply came after an agonizing pause. Yes. And just like that, they became more than guildmates. For 2 years, they built a world together, battles won, secrets shared, trust forged in anonymity. Neither ever saw the other's face, until today. The day before the finals, Tatsuya's mind was already in the arena. He stared past the blackboard, his thumb absent-mindedly swiping the air.
Tomorrow at lunch, Lavender is playing in the championship. I'll be watching every second.
Takahashi-kun, can you answer the next question?
What page are we on?
Her sternness was usually a blade. Today, it was wrapped in velvet.
Page 87. Are you feeling well? You seem distracted lately.
Dude, you were spacing hard in there? Was it your mystery wife again?
Keep your voice down, and she's not a mystery. She's just private. I don't even know her real name, but tomorrow I'll at least see her play at her best.
He had no way of knowing that the face he would see would be the one he already saw every single day. The lunch bell rang out, but Tatsuya was already in his seat at the back, headphones half raised, phone ready.
The finals are about to start. Lavender, I know you can't hear me, but I'm rooting for you.
The stream loaded, and there she was, Lavender, the violet-haired warrior, stepping into the arena. He typed a quick message in the chat. Across the room, Ms. Himura sat at her desk, but the papers before her were untouched. Her phone was hidden in her lap, her eyes flickering down. On her screen, the same broadcast. Lavender's nameplate glowing gold. A notification popped up. Raven Knight cheered for you.
Her movement is flawless. She's going to win this tournament. I just wish I could be there with her.
The boss fight raged on. Lavender's avatar dodged, struck, and the boss's health bar drained to a sliver. The chat exploded with emojis. Naomi's breath caught. Her thumb moved toward the screen to send a cheer to congratulate, but she froze, realizing where she was. In the back, Tatsuya leaned forward, heartbeat hammering. The boss fell. Lavender was champion. And for a single, blind instant, everything was perfect. Then, in the corner of the victory screen, a small setting icon blinked. The webcam had been enabled. It was about to show everything. The victory fanfare was still playing. On the stream, Lavender's avatar stood motionless, but the new webcam window showed a different kind of freeze frame. And then the chat erupted. Messages flew past faster than any boss mechanic.
No, that's impossible. Lavender is a high school teacher, and she's sitting 20 feet away from me.
Her phone lay on the floor. The screen still lit, but her body had gone rigid. She could feel his stare like a physical weight. Around them, the classroom buzzed with lunchtime chatter. No one had noticed anything. Not yet. The stream chat had already started connecting dots. Wait, that background looks like a classroom. Lavender is a teacher? The feed was still live.
She has to shut it off. If she doesn't, someone in this school will see that chat. They'll know this will destroy her.
Naomi's hand trembled as she finally bent down. Her fingers closed around the phone and the screen went dark. The stream died. The silence between them was louder than any victory cheer. The championship was over. The real game was just beginning. Every heartbeat counted. They both knew the next bell could either save them or seal their fate.
I can't look at her. If I do, I'll scream.
He dropped his phone into his bag and zipped it shut, as if that could contain the truth. The classroom hadn't missed a beat.
They don't know. They have no idea her entire career just almost ended on a gaming stream.
Naomi stood abruptly. Her chair scraped the floor, a sound that grated on his spine. She didn't look back. She just walked out.
Where is she going? The office? The bathroom? I need to... What? Follow her. No, that would look worse.
He waited 3 minutes. Then, with his bag clutched like a shield, he slipped out of the classroom himself. The hallway was empty. He didn't know where to go either, so he just walked. Past the lockers, past the vending machines. His phone stayed dark in his pocket.
I married my teacher. The person I've been telling my darkest fears to for 2 years is my homeroom teacher.
He ended up on the rooftop, the midday sun beating down without warmth. He gripped the railing until his knuckles whitened. Somewhere in the building, Naomi was hiding too. They were separated by walls, but trapped in the same nightmare. The final bell rang, and the classroom emptied like air from a punctured balloon. Tatsuya grabbed his bag, desperate to escape. But as he reached the door, a voice stopped him. Not the teacher's command, but something quieter, something familiar.
Takahashi-kun, could you stay for a moment?
Stay? I can't even breathe in the same room as her.
He turned. The room was empty. The door clicked shut, and they were alone.
You saw the stream. You know that I'm Lavender.
And you know I'm Raven Knight, the one you've been?
Please, I'm begging you. If the school finds out, I'll lose everything. My career, my reputation. It doesn't matter that we never met outside the game. They won't see the difference.
I won't tell anyone. I can't do that to you. Not after everything.
They stood in the growing silence, the shadow of their shared history stretching between them. Nothing was settled, but the secret was sealed. The next morning, the classroom felt like a stage where they both had to act. Tatsuya stared at his notebook without seeing the words.
Takahashi.
Here. Her voice. It's the same one that whispered goodnight to me for 2 years.
He looked up at the wrong moment. Their eyes met. She flinched first, turning to the board so fast the chalk in her hand snapped. The chalk clattered to the floor. Several students glanced up, but only one kept watching.
Ms. Himura never stumbles, and Takahashi looks like he swallowed a ghost.
The lesson dragged on. Naomi wrote on the board with a broken piece of chalk, her letters smaller than usual.
She's shaking, I can see it from here, and I can't do anything.
By the end of the hour, Rin had started a mental file. She didn't know what, but she was sure there was something. That night, Tatsuya logged in with a prayer that the game would feel the same. The loading screen glowed, but his hands were cold.
The guild's probably already celebrating. If I just act normal, no one will notice anything.
The guild hall was packed. Emotes of fireworks and cheers flooded the chat. Lavender's icon appeared, but her usual warmth was absent.
You were amazing in the finals. Seriously, that last boss kill was unbelievable.
Her reply came after a long pause. Thank you. No heart emoji, no exclamation point.
Hey, Raven Knight! You and Lavender seem off today. Everything okay?
She noticed. Of course she noticed. Aoi doesn't miss anything. I need to make it sound boring. Just tired, long day at school.
If you say so, but I'm watching. You and Lavender are my favorite duo.
He closed the chat, but the weight of the lies stayed heavy in his chest. The game didn't feel normal. Nothing would ever feel normal again. The following Monday, the vice principal announced a new mentorship program. Each senior would be paired with a homeroom teacher for a collaborative research project.
Random pairings. This could be really bad.
Naomi stood rigidly beside the other teachers. When her hand drew a name from the box, her fingers trembled. She unfolded the slip. Her voice came out wrong. Takahashi. Tatsuya.
Of course, of all the teachers, it had to be her. The universe is laughing at me.
Interesting pairing.
He felt every pair of eyes in the room, but hers was the only one that mattered. She looked away first.
I have to work with her alone. For weeks. How am I going to survive this?
The pairing was official. There was no way out. The room began to murmur, but the only sound Tatsuya heard was the ringing in his ears. And just like that, the game tightened another notch. The walls were closing in. After the assembly, Tatsuya slipped into the hallway, but he didn't get far. A shadow fell across the floor ahead of him.
Takahashi-kun, wait up.
She held up her phone, screen glowing, a blurry photo of an empty classroom, of him and Ms. Himura, faces too close.
She has a photo. How did she get that?
Why does Miss Himura look at you like that? You two have been acting weird.
What? That's just a project meeting. Nothing weird about it.
Then why did she look like she was about to cry? And you looked like you'd been punched?
She's not buying it. I need a better lie. The mentorship is just stressful, okay? Drop it.
She didn't drop it. She just stored the lie away, waiting for the next crack. Her eyes promised she'd be there. The library was supposed to be neutral ground. They sat at opposite ends of the same table, a fortress of books between them.
We could approach the research topic from a data-driven perspective, organize the findings into a clear, executable strategy.
Right, like how we always plan raids. You map it out and I execute. I mean Lavender.
The name hung in the air like a forbidden spell. Naomi's hand froze halfway to a page. A first year at the next table glanced over, frowning slightly.
No, cover it. Cover it now.
He burst into a loud, fake cough, and Naomi joined him, the sound echoing in the quiet library.
He almost said my game name in public. We nearly destroyed everything.
The student turned back to their own work, but the echo of the slip refused to fade. They collected their things in silence. No more meetings in public spaces that was understood without a word. After the library disaster, Tatsuya leaned against the shoe lockers, scrolling through his old chat log with Lavender. The familiar words were a tether.
Tatsuya, still staring at that game thing?
Before Tatsuya could lock the screen, Kenta's eyes had already found the avatar profile. The violet hair was unmistakable.
Dude, your in-game wife has violet hair. Exactly like Ms. Himura. That's hilarious.
My blood turned to ice. He said it. He actually said it.
He ripped the phone out of sight, the case nearly snapping as he shoved it into his pocket.
It's just a game character. Don't say stuff like that.
Geez, relax. I was just joking. You're way too serious lately.
Kenta punched his shoulder lightly and walked away, but the joke had already burrowed under Tatsuya's skin like a splinter.
What if he starts connecting it? What if he's not joking next time?
Rin didn't need a confession when evidence was everywhere. Passing the teacher's office, she saw Naomi through the window, phone in hand, staring at a piece of Lavender fan art.
That's not just a random game art. That's Lavender, her avatar.
Her phone camera clicked before she even thought about it. The shutter sound was silent, but the capture was perfect. She found him after school, alone by the shoe lockers. She didn't say hello. She just held up the phone.
Look familiar?
It's over. She knows everything.
She swiped to another screenshot, the guild roster of Crimson Realm. 2 names were highlighted, Raven Knight and Lavender.
You're Raven Knight. She's your in-game wife. I checked the public guild page. Don't bother denying it.
It's not.
I want the truth. Everything. Right now, or this goes to the vice principal.
The words tumbled out of him, a desperate patchwork. Tatsuya's voice cracked as he tried to weave a version of the truth that wouldn't cost everything.
I can't tell her about the 2 years. She'll never understand. Just make it sound recent. It's not what you think. I only found out Ms. Himura plays Crimson Realm a few weeks ago. We accidentally ended up in the same guild. That's it.
A few weeks ago, the guild info shows a 2-year partnership. He's lying through his teeth. Just a coincidence, huh? That's surprisingly boring.
You can't tell anyone, please. Even a rumor could get her fired. It's not worth ruining a life over a stupid coincidence.
Fine. I'll keep your little secret for now.
Her smile didn't reach her eyes. She was already filing the lie away, adding it to her growing collection of contradictions.
That was too easy. She knows I'm hiding something. She's just waiting for me to slip again.
Rin turned and walked away, her phone already buzzing with a new reminder. She'd check the guild's founding date later, just to be sure. That night, a guild-wide notification blazed across every screen. Mandatory voice strategy meeting for the upcoming tournament.
Voice chat? We've hidden behind text for 2 years. If anyone hears my real voice, it's over.
In her apartment, Naomi saw the same alert, and the teacup shook in her hand. She knew her voice. It was her main tool as a teacher.
If a guildmate is one of my students or a colleague, they'll recognize me instantly. My career will end.
A private message from Lavender appeared on Tatsuya's screen. We can't avoid it. We'll need to disguise our voices somehow.
She's right. I can pitch my voice lower. She can soften hers. It's a gamble, but we have no other choice. Agreed. I'll go an octave down. You, maybe a bit softer. We can do this.
Her reply was a simple okay, but the period at the end felt like a held breath. The guild chat erupted with excitement. Aoi posted a countdown clock. For everyone else, it was a game. Tatsuya stared at the clock. In 24 hours they would speak, and everyone would be listening. The voice channel opened with a chime. Tatsuya's hand tightened on his mouse, and he lowered his pitch until his throat ached.
Thanks everyone for coming. Let's focus on the tournament brackets and leave the chatter for later.
Naomi had practiced a softer, airier tone. When she spoke, it was almost a whisper, nothing like her classroom voice.
Great point, Lavender. I love how we're all so coordinated. Raven Knight, you sound so young. Are you sure you're not a prodigy? And Lavender, your voice is so calming, like a teacher reading a bedtime story.
Teacher, she said, teacher. Did anyone else notice?
A guild member laughed, filling the silence. Then another joked, Raven, Lavender, you two sound so in sync. Are you dating in real life yet, or what? More laughter.
Haha, very funny. We're just good at the game. Focus, everyone.
The meeting ended, but the aftershock rattled in their bones. They had survived, but the marks were closer now than ever. After the voice channel closed, a private message icon blinked on Tatsuya's screen. It was from her. We can't keep doing this. Maybe we should divorce in-game. It's too risky.
Divorce? She wants to delete the marriage that kept me sane for 2 years?
His fingers hovered over the keyboard. The cursor blinked, demanding an answer he didn't want to give.
But what about us?
He sent it and waited. The screen stayed dark. No reply. He refreshed again. The silence was a louder answer than any word.
If she can cut us off that easily, was any of it real?
The clock on his wall ticked past midnight. He closed the laptop, but sleep never came. The word divorce hung in the air like a blade they both might have to fall on. The next afternoon, the classroom was empty again. Their project meeting had been scheduled, but the silence was suffocating.
About last night? Did you really mean it? That we should just delete everything?
She couldn't meet his eyes. Her hand gripped the edge of a desk, knuckles white.
I don't want to lose you. The thought of it makes me sick. But I'm terrified. If anyone finds out the truth...
I fell for you. Not just Lavender. You. The real you sitting 10 feet from me every day.
Her breath caught, a tiny gasp that shattered the quiet. For a heartbeat, there was no teacher and no student, just two people who had been hiding.
He feels the same. After all these months of pretending, he's still... But you're still my student. Until graduation, we can't anything. It would ruin us both.
I know, that's why it hurts this much.
Nothing was solved. but the unspeakable had been spoken. The distance between them remained, but now it was filled with something raw and true. Tatsuya left the classroom, his chest heavy with hope and dread. He didn't notice the shadow that detached itself from the wall.
Takahashi-kun, I caught something interesting on audio just now.
She pressed play. His own voice crackled out, raw and unmistakable. I fell for you, not just Lavender, you.
She recorded it. That could end both of us.
Your little half-truth last time was cute, but this is a full confession. Now give me the real story, or this goes to the principal.
Why are you doing this? What do you even want?
I want the truth. The whole ugly truth. You've been lying to everyone, and I'm tired of being the only one who notices.
She's not bluffing. I have to decide. Trust her or lose everything. Fine, but not here. Somewhere private, and you delete that recording after.
Rin's smile was thin, but she nodded. The leash was tightening, but at least the truth was finally on its way out. After the hallway confrontation, Tatsuya found Kenta on the rooftop, the only place the sky felt wide enough to breathe.
You look worse than after a weekend grind event. Spill it.
Rin has a recording of me confessing to Ms. Himura. She's blackmailing me for the full story, or she'll go to the principal.
A recording? That's insane, even for Rin. Do you think she'd really do it? Send it to the principal?
I don't know, but she's not messing around. She's been digging for weeks.
Then maybe. Give her what she wants. She's nosy, but I don't think she's evil. If she hears the whole mess, she might actually get it.
Trust Rin with everything? That's a huge gamble. But hiding is tearing us apart anyway.
People surprise you. Rin might. She spent all this time watching. Maybe she just wants to be part of something real.
The suggestion was dangerous, but it lodged itself in Tatsuya's mind. Maybe trusting the girl who held his secret was the only way to keep it. That evening, a simple text message, "I'm ready to tell you everything. Meet me in the empty classroom."
This is insane. But lying hasn't worked. If she's going to end us, at least she'll know why.
They faced each other in the dim classroom. Rin sat on a desk, arms crossed, waiting.
I'm listening. Start from the beginning, and don't leave anything out.
Tatsuya told her everything, the random guild merger, 2 years of anonymous marriage, the facecam accident, and the real feelings that had grown despite it all.
2 years. He's been living this double life. It's not a joke. It's survival. I won't tell anyone, but you have to promise me you'll wait until graduation. Don't make any moves that could cost her her job.
She held out her phone and, before his eyes, deleted the recording. The screen went dark.
She actually did it. The weight on my chest just halved, but the other half is still there.
Rin was now an ally, but her eyes promised vigilance. The secret had a second keeper, and the leash was still tight. He found her in the stairwell after the last bell, where the echo could swallow voices.
Rin knows everything, but she deleted the recording. She won't tell as long as we keep our distance.
Another person knows. The circle keeps growing. I'm grateful, but it's terrifying. What if someone less forgiving figures it out?
Then we make sure they don't. We need rules. No talking outside class, no in-game meetings until we're safe.
She nodded, her fingers gripping the stair rail until they turned white.
Until graduation. We just have to survive until then.
It feels like a lifetime.
They stood in the dusty light, the pact sealed with nothing but their shared fear. Then they walked away, not looking back, as if that would make the waiting easier. That weekend, Tatsuya tackled his cluttered closet. An old middle school yearbook slid from a dusty shelf, and he caught it before it hit the floor.
Middle school was garbage. Still, I flipped it open.
A class photo jumped out. The substitute teacher, younger, violet hair, was undeniably Ms. Himura.
She was my substitute for a week. I'd forgotten completely, but she remembered my name.
The photo was grainy, but the eyes were the same. Naomi Himura, years younger.
Had she recognized me when our guilds merged? Was any of it random?
He remembered that week clearly now, a kind teacher who knew every student by heart.
If she knew my name, she never said. The silence felt like a lie.
The yearbook suddenly weighed more. It held a secret he wasn't meant to find. He shut it, but the question burned: how much of their story was real? Monday after school, the classroom was silent. Tatsuya held the yearbook behind his back, his pulse hammering.
Takahashi-kun, you asked to meet? What's wrong?
I found something. You need to see it.
She looked down at the grainy photo of her younger self, and every drop of blood left her face.
Did you know who I was the whole time? From the very start?
I recognized your name when you joined the guild. The algorithm matched us, but I remembered the quiet boy from that week. I was terrified. I thought if you knew, you'd report me, or it would ruin everything, so I just never said anything.
She knew. She hid it. Our whole marriage started on a foundation she knew wasn't purely random.
He didn't speak. The distance between them felt wider than the classroom, filled with a truth that changed everything. The foundation had cracked. Now, they had to decide if anything was salvageable.
Why did you stay married to me then? If you knew who I was from the start, why didn't you just end it?
Because you were kind. In a world where I have to be strict every day, you made me laugh. You worried about me. The more we talked, the more I saw the person, not the student. You weren't just a name on my old attendance sheet, you were Tatsuya. I didn't plan for feelings to grow. I should have told you sooner. I'm so sorry.
She sounds genuine. But how much of that kindness was real? How much was guilt? I don't know what to believe anymore. The whole time you were holding back a part of the truth.
Naomi wiped her eyes, but the tears kept falling. She had no more defenses left.
I understand if you hate me, but I need you to know every word I typed to you was real. I never pretended to care.
I need air. I need time. I can't process this while she's in front of me.
He left without another word, the classroom door closing softly behind him. The silence that followed was louder than any confession. Tatsuya walked through the empty halls, his footsteps echoing. He didn't look back.
I can't think about it. I need to shut it out.
In the deserted classroom, Naomi stayed where he left her, silent sobs shaking her shoulders.
I ruined it. I should have been honest from the start.
That night, Tatsuya sat in the dark, the glow of his monitor the only light. He logged into Crimson Realm.
Maybe the game will feel normal. Maybe the pain will stay outside.
He navigated to their usual meeting spot, a quiet forest clearing where they used to plan raids. Her avatar was already there, standing motionless. She hadn't messaged, hadn't emoted, just waiting.
If I say something, it starts again. I can't. Not yet.
He stared for a long minute, then closed the game. The screen went black, and the silence of his room swallowed him whole. The next day, Kenta found him on the rooftop again, staring at a sky that offered no answers.
You look worse than yesterday. Did something else happen?
She used to be my substitute teacher. She recognized me from the start and never said anything.
Dude, that's messed up. But think about it. If she wanted to manipulate you, she would have used it by now. She probably didn't plan to fall for you. Give her a chance to prove she's real.
Maybe he's right. The fear in her eyes wasn't fake, neither was the pain.
If she makes you happy, even in a stupid game, maybe that's worth fighting for.
Tatsuya said nothing, but his fists slowly unclenched at his sides. The wall was still there, but a crack had formed.
Take your time, but don't let pride ruin something that could be real.
Left alone, the wind stirred his hair. For the first time in days, the horizon didn't look like a dead end. Rin had seen the cracks for weeks. After the last bell, she found the classroom door ajar and slipped inside. Naomi sat at the teacher's desk, head buried in her arms, silent sobs shaking her frame.
Ms. Himura.
Rin-san, I can't. I ruined everything. He won't even look at me.
I know about the yearbook. About you being his substitute teacher. He's hurt, but he's not gone.
Naomi's breath hitched. She searched Rin's face for accusation and found only quiet understanding.
You made him laugh. I've seen the way he looks at you. That kind of connection doesn't just disappear.
She's right, he said. I made him laugh. Maybe there's still something left.
Give him a few days. He'll come around. Just don't disappear on him again.
Rin squeezed her shoulder and left. Naomi stared at the chalkboard, and for the first time in days, her tears weren't only of despair. Late that night, Tatsuya opened the game. His fingers trembled, but he typed before he could stop himself.
I'm not mad anymore. I understand why you hid it, but we need to figure out what we are now.
A reply came almost instantly, as if she had been waiting. I want to be with you, but we can't. Not until you graduate.
She still wants me. That's enough. For now.
He typed back. Then we wait. But I'm not letting go. She led his avatar to the old wedding chapel, the place where they had first said yes.
I vow to wait, however long it takes. No more secrets.
I vowed to be patient until graduation, and then we start for real.
In the silent chapel, their avatars touched hands. No one else knew, but the pact was sealed. The next evening, a guild notification blazed across every screen. Victory celebration, mandatory real-life meetup. All leaders must attend.
A real meetup? If we show up together, the age gap will be obvious. If we don't, we lose the guild.
This is worse than the voice chat. There's no filter for real life. Someone will recognize me or him.
The guild chat erupted with excitement. Aoi posted the venue details, a popular gaming cafe in the city center. A private message popped up on both their screens almost simultaneously. From each other, we need to talk.
You saw the meetup. What do we do? If we go separately, people will ask questions. If we don't go at all, the guild will split.
Her response was immediate. I know. I'm terrified. There's no good option.
We just rebuilt this. I can't lose her again, and I can't lose the guild. Is there any way to do both?
The gaming cafe was booked for Saturday. 7 days away. The countdown had already started. They stared at their screens, miles apart, but trapped in the same impossible choice.
What if we go together as a couple? New clothes, no school talk. We met in-game and just started dating.
That's insane. If someone recognizes us, it's not just my career, it's your future too.
It's the only way to save the guild. We have to try. If we hide, we lose everything we built.
Fine, but we need a solid story. No hesitation, no real names. We're just gamers who fell for each other.
They crafted the fiction. 2 gamers who met in Crimson Realm, fell in love and only recently made it real. Tatsuya suggested matching violet-themed shirts, a subtle nod to lavender, a secret only they would understand.
I haven't worn casual clothes around him since. Ever. This will be the first time he sees me not as a teacher.
If anyone sees us holding hands, they'll never guess we're teacher and student.
Her final message was simple. See you Saturday. 2 words that felt like a trapdoor. The gaming cafe loomed in their minds. They were walking in hand, with a lie as their shield. There was no turning back now. Saturday arrived too quickly. Tatsuya stood outside the gaming cafe, violet shirt a beacon, and watched her approach in a soft blouse, hair loose.
She looks like a different person. I've never seen her like this. The teacher is gone.
They stopped inches apart. Her hand found his, fingers cold and trembling. The practiced words were useless now. The cafe door swung open, and a wave of noise washed over them. Together they stepped inside. Aoi was the first to see them. Her gasp cut through the chatter, and then heads turned.
Lavender and Raven Knight, you're a real couple?
Yeah, we met in the game and, well, things just happened. They're buying it. The lie is working. But why does it hurt?
The questions came like a raid boss. They deflected with jokes and half-truths, hands never separating. For a few hours they were celebrities, not fugitives. But the mask was heavy, and the night was still young. The party swirled around them, but they found a quiet corner near the snack table. Tatsuya handed Naomi a cup of punch, their fingers brushing. A shadow fell across the table. Aoi was there, her smile unusually soft. She leaned in so only they could hear.
I figured it out. The face cam accident. You're her high school teacher, aren't you?
How? The stream was only up for seconds. Did she save a screenshot?
I won't tell anyone. Not a soul, I promise. Just be careful. This world is small, and some people have long memories.
Thank you. You don't know what that means to us.
Aoi squeezed her hand once, then stepped back, her public mask sliding back into place. Across the room, Aoi raised her glass and winked at them. The toast meant only for two.
One more person knows, but somehow she feels like the safest secret keeper of all.
They returned to the party, but now a new thread connected them to the crowd. The night had grown heavier and lighter, all at once. As the meetup ended, they slipped outside into the cold night air. The neon lights flickered, and their breath formed clouds between them.
I can't live like this, Tatsuya. Tonight was wonderful, but it's not real. We're still hiding.
She's right, we're actors, and I'm tired of pretending.
When you graduate, I want to be with you openly, but until then, we should go no contact, delete each other's numbers, quit the guild if we have to.
No contact. I won't even be able to hear your voice.
She reached out, her fingers brushing his cheek, then pulled back as if burned.
It's the only way to protect us. Every time we talk, we risk everything.
This is the hardest thing I'll ever agree to, but for her, I'll do it. Fine, but the day after graduation, I'm calling you. Promise me you'll answer.
They stood in the cold, their phones out, deleting contacts one by one. The silence was a vow heavier than any words. The days bled into weeks in class. Tatsuya stared at his desk, and Naomi's eyes never left the blackboard.
You look like a ghost, Takahashi. When's the last time you even smiled?
Just tired.
Rin and Kenta exchanged glances, but knew better than to push. Naomi's lessons were mechanical. Her voice never wavered, but her eyes were empty. The class clock ticked loudly. Days left until graduation, a countdown both dreaded and craved. At night, the guild chat buzzed with questions. Aoi kept replying, "They're just busy. Give them time."
Just a few more weeks. I can survive a few more weeks.
I can't even look at him. If I do, I'll break.
Graduation day loomed, circled in red on every calendar in the school. The silence was almost over. The guild hall was restless. Without its leaders, rumors spread like poison. Where are Raven Knight and Lavender? It's been weeks.
They're dealing with some real-life stuff. They asked me to hold things down. They'll be back.
Are you sure they didn't just break up? It's weird they vanished together.
They're solid. Trust me, we just need to hold the fort.
But Kay, a habitual lurker, wasn't satisfied. He sent a private message to other veterans. Aoi saw the whispers. She had to cut this off before someone pieced together the face cam accident.
Listen, everyone. The leaders earned our trust. Let's not repay it with gossip.
The guild quieted, but Kay's icons stayed lit. He was searching player databases now.
I have to guard their secret until they come back, no matter what.
The night was endless. Sleep refused to come, so Tatsuya opened his laptop, the screen's pale glow cutting through the dark.
Just a quick look. I won't send a message. It's not breaking the rule.
He logged in with a blank account. No name, no guild. A ghost in the world they built together. The forest clearing was exactly as he remembered. The glowing flowers, the ancient trees, and there, standing alone, was Lavender's avatar.
She's here. She couldn't stay away either. I'm not the only one struggling.
His cursor hovered over the whisper button, but his fingers went cold and still. Then in the chat box, 3 dots appeared from her. She knew he was watching. Her avatar flickered once, then dissolved into pixels. She logged out without a word.
I should have typed something, but the pact was the only thing protecting us.
He shut the laptop. The darkness swallowed the room, and the countdown in his head ticked louder than ever. The next afternoon, Rin and Kenta ambushed him at the school gate. "You're coming with us," Rin said, grabbing his sleeve.
No arguments. You need real food and real company.
They dragged him to a ramen shop, steam fogging the windows, the scent of pork broth cutting through his numbness.
You've been a zombie for weeks. Eat, and for once, actually taste it.
Taste. I haven't tasted anything in forever.
As they ate, Rin leaned forward. "You've waited this long. 1 more week, and it's over.
1 week feels like a year.
Then we'll carry you through it. That's what friends are for.
A faint smile crossed his face. The broth was warm, the company warmer.
Graduation day, you better walk across that stage with your head high. For her, and for yourself.
The graduation hall buzzed with finality. Tatsuya sat among his classmates, the weight of his cap a tangible reminder that the years were over.
I did it. I'm finally done. Now there's nothing left between us.
As he crossed the stage, he scanned the staff area. There she was in the third row, a hand pressed to her mouth. Naomi's eyes were red, but her smile was the most honest he'd ever seen. She didn't hide it anymore. Their eyes met for a single heartbeat. She gave him the tiniest nod, a promise fulfilled.
She kept her promise. Now it's my turn.
That night, in the quiet of his room, his phone buzzed, a notification from Crimson Connect, Lavender's icon. Congratulations, graduate. How about that coffee?
She actually sent it. The wait is finally over.
He typed a reply with trembling fingers. Yes. When and where? The screen glowed, and his heart raced. Tomorrow, everything would change. The next afternoon, Tatsuya arrived early at the quiet cafe, his button-down shirt still creased from the store. He chose a corner table and watched the door.
What if it's awkward? I've never talked to her as anything but a student.
The door chimed. Naomi stepped in, wearing a soft pastel dress, her violet hair loose around her shoulders.
You look so different. I mean, in a good way.
So do you? More grown up?
They sat, and for a moment, the clink of cups was the only sound. The menu was a safe place to hide.
She's not my teacher, she's just Naomi.
It feels strange, doesn't it? We're just two people having coffee, not teacher and student.
She's right. The wall is gone.
Her reflection in the window smiled back at her, the teacher's uniform replaced by a woman finally in her own clothes.
Now that you're not my student, what do you want from us?
This is it. The moment I've rehearsed 100 times, no more hiding. I want to date you. For real. No game characters, no disguises. I've wanted to say that for 2 years.
Me too. I've wanted that since the guild merger. But I'm scared. People will talk. My old colleagues, your future classmates.
His hand found hers across the table, fingers intertwining like a pact.
Then we keep it private for now. We owe the world nothing. We've already survived worse.
You're right. Let's take it slow. Coffee dates, walks in the park. Just us, learning to be together without the masks.
She said yes. She actually said yes.
They spent the next hour laughing over cold coffee, planning walks in the park, and sharing secrets no screen had ever seen. When they finally stood to leave, the world hadn't changed, but their place in it had. The secret was now a shared refuge, not a prison. That weekend, Tatsuya brought his laptop to Naomi's apartment. 2 monitors sat side by side on the kitchen table.
This feels so natural, like we've done it 100 times.
They logged into Crimson Realm together, their avatars appearing in the guild hall simultaneously.
Whoa, Raven Knight and Lavender. You're together? Like in the same room?
Something like that.
The guild erupted in playful chaos. Fireworks and heart emojis flooded the chat.
I knew you two were the real deal. Happy for you.
They don't know the half of it. But for now, this is enough.
In the kitchen, their fingers touched over the keyboard as they planned their next raid. The line between game and reality had finally blurred, and neither of them wanted to draw it again. As the guild celebration simmered down, a private message icon appeared on Tatsuya's screen. It was from Aoi. I've known about you two since the meetup. I'm happy for you. Want to have a private toast? Just us 3. Meet me at the chapel.
She's known all along. I should be scared, but it feels safe.
He showed the screen to Naomi, who was beside him, a blanket draped over her legs. She nodded, cheeks flushed. Their fingers intertwined on the keyboard as they typed a single word in response. We're coming. A swirl of light enveloped their avatars as they teleported to the old wedding chapel, the same one where their journey began.
I've been keeping your secret since the meetup. You're my favorite disaster, and I'm honored you trust me.
Thank you, Aoi. Without you covering for us, I don't know what we would have done.
Aoi raised a glowing goblet, her cleric's robes shifting in the chapel's light. The guild charter, signed years ago, felt realer now. This was a new beginning, witnessed, not exposed. In the silent chapel, Tatsuya and Naomi stood before Aoi's cleric avatar. The stained glass cast violet and gold across the altar.
I, Tatsuya, vow to stand by you, Naomi, in this world and any other. No more secrets, no more distance.
I, Naomi, vow to trust you with my heart, Tatsuya. However long it takes, wherever we go, I'm yours.
By the power vested in me by this guild and a lot of late-night scheming, I now pronounce you still married. You may kiss the bride.
Their avatars leaned in, a soft kiss framed by the chapel's eternal glow. In the kitchen, Tatsuya turned from his screen. Naomi's face was inches away, her eyes glistening.
This is real. She's real. No more screens between us.
They kissed, softly at first, then deeper. A real vow sealed without words. Aoi's avatar clapped, and the chapel erupted in silent, private celebration, just for them. The game logged off, but the warmth stayed. In a small kitchen, two people who had started as pixels began a real forever. A few months later, the cherry blossoms fell, and life settled into a quiet rhythm. Tatsuya started university, and Naomi transferred to a school 2 towns over. They lived apart, but the distance felt smaller than the classroom had. Every Friday, one of them took the train. Their weekends were a sacred pocket of time, filled with cooking, games, and laughter. The guild, now under Aoi's steady hand, thrived. Raven Knight and Lavender logged in side by side, their legend only growing.
It's not the life we imagined, but it's ours. No secrets, no hiding.
Naomi's new students noticed her smile more often, but never guessed their teacher spent nights as a legendary warrior. Tatsuya's roommate wondered why he always had a fresh lavender air freshener and a stupid grin on phone calls. They still walked in the park, hands free of fear, the world unaware of the epic they had lived. The secret remained theirs, and Aoi's an unspoken covenant stronger than any guild charter. And the game, their game, kept running, its servers humming with battles won and promises kept. One evening, a notification buzzed on Rin's phone. A long-dormant guild thread had a new post from Kay. He had attached a photo from the meetup, zoomed in on Tatsuya and Naomi. "Isn't she older? This feels off."
That idiot never learned to let things go. Kenta, we need to shut this down now.
Already on it. Let's send him a joint message. Short and firm.
They huddled over Rin's phone, words precise as a surgical strike.
They're just two gamers who fell in love. No one was hurt. Drop it, Kay.
The reply came after a tense pause. "Fine. I just thought something was wrong. I'll back off."
Good. One less problem.
I'll message Aoi to keep an eye on the guild channels, just in case.
In their separate homes, Tatsuya and Naomi cooked dinner, unaware that their allies had just fought a quiet war for them. The park was quiet, cherry blossoms drifting like confetti. Tatsuya and Naomi walked hand in hand, no space between their shoulders.
A year since graduation, and the memory still hit him at random moments. The face cam window, the panic in her eyes, but now it only made him smile.
You're doing it again. The smile you get when you're remembering something that scared you half to death.
Remember when I first called you my wife, in front of the whole class?
I almost dropped my phone. My entire career flashed before my eyes.
Best accident of my life. It gave me this.
She stopped beneath a cascade of cherry blossoms, and he turned to face her, their hands still linked.
No more secrets, no more distance, just her and the future we built.
They kissed, soft and certain, a kiss that had waited through years and silence. Above them, the petals swirled into the sunset, carrying their story into the forever they had earned. A year later, morning light filled their small kitchen. 2 mugs, side by side, steamed on the counter. A simple silver band glinted on Tatsuya's left hand as he reached for his mug. No ceremony, just a promise kept.
Still can't believe we actually live together. Every morning feels like a quest reward.
Are you going to stare at your coffee forever or help me find the dragon pepper?
The legendary spice from the Crimson Caverns. Thought we were out.
She held up a small red shaker with a triumphant grin.
Found it behind the soy sauce, just like that side quest we missed for weeks.
Only you would turn grocery shopping into a raid. Here, let me chop the basil.
Their hands met over the cutting board, a familiar dance of fingers and laughter. Outside, the world didn't know their story. But inside that kitchen, every joke was a memory, every meal a victory. Later that evening, they logged into Crimson Realm for the Guild's anniversary event. Fireworks painted the sky in purple and gold. The moment Raven Knight and Lavender appeared, the Guild chat exploded with messages. "They're here! About time!"
Surprise! We've been planning this for weeks! Happy anniversary, you two!
They still think we're just a gamer couple. It's almost funny how wrong and right that is.
Virtual confetti rained down as Guild members queued to trade them small gifts. Then a private trade window opened. Aoi had sent them a pixel art canvas, a knight and warrior side by side, tiny hearts floating above. A small note was attached. "Secret Santa, forever, Aoi."
She always knows the perfect thing to say without saying anything at all.
Naomi smiled, her avatar bowing gracefully in-game while her real hand squeezed his. In the guild hall, the celebration roared on. Their story remained hidden in plain sight, known to a few, loved by many, guarded by one. Later that night, Tatsuya scrolled through his phone gallery and stopped at a photo. Their intertwined hands, the silver ring catching the light.
2 years since our in-game marriage. No one will get it, and that's exactly how I want it.
He typed and posted, "2 years ago, I married my best friend. Best decision ever." The photo was simple, the meaning layered.
You posted it. I thought we were keeping it offline.
Only the people who know will see it. Everyone else will just think we're a normal couple.
Naomi reposted it moments later with a single line, "I love you, my knight." A heart emoji was the only adornment. A comment from Rin appeared, "You two are disgustingly cute." Kenta added, "Happy anniversary, you weirdos."
They know not everything, but enough. And that's enough for me.
Their hands found each other again, the ring cool against his fingers. Outside the screen, the world saw a normal couple. Inside, they held an empire. The likes and hearts climbed, but none of it mattered. They had already won, long before the face cam, long before the coffee in a world built just for them. The room was dark, save for the soft glow of the monitor. They settled into their chairs, a ritual unchanged. Tatsuya's left hand settled on the keyboard, a thin silver band reflecting the loading screen. Beside him, Naomi's hand found its place on the mouse, her own matching ring a quiet echo. Their fingers intertwined for a heartbeat, the cool metal a constant reminder of the promise they'd kept. The Crimson Realm login screen appeared, its dragon and knight still frozen in eternal battle. The same screen that had once separated them now connected them. They typed their passwords in silence, a familiar dance, and the game world opened before them. Raven Knight and Lavender, once avatars of secrecy, now just two players who had found their forever. Some stories start in a game, but they live forever in reality. And on the keyboard, two hands rested side by side, their epic quietly complete.